My name's John Hankins. I am a certified financial therapist and a licensed social worker. And today I want to take on what's really kind of a big topic, and that is what is financial therapy? There's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, and you can see a lot of mentions of financial therapy these days in the popular press. And so I'm just going to kind of throw in my 2 cents, and I hope you find this helpful because I can imagine that there are a lot of people when they hear about financial therapy think this is maybe something for them, but they're really curious about exactly what is it. So hang on because here we go. So financial therapy is something that we think of as a new thing. And in the whole scheme of therapy, I think that's probably true. But in fact, the Financial Therapy Association, which I regard as kind of the organizational but not exclusive home of financial therapy, was founded in 2009. So this work has been going on for quite some time. But financial therapy at its core is about understanding the link between our emotional connection to money and our overall wellness. The Financial Therapy Association succinctly defines financial therapy as a process informed by both therapeutic and financial competencies that help people to think, feel, communicate, and behave differently with money. You can think of financial therapy as a specialty within the therapy realm. It's not a what I would call a modality. It's not like cognitive behavioral therapy or acceptance and commitment therapy or EMDR. It's really what are we focused on as the major issue. I think it's fair to compare financial therapy with other specialties like grief therapy, uh, therapy around eating disorders. Um, I had another one here. Oh, substance abuse. Yeah, we treat people for substance abuse. Well, we treat people for issues with money. This is fundamentally that we are recognizing in financial therapy that you have a relationship with money, just like you have a relationship with food, or maybe a relationship with alcohol, or maybe a relationship with exercise. We have relationships with these things in our lives, and they can have a very a very important and wide range of influences on how we feel and the behavior that emerges from that. So that's really the basis of financial therapy, is recognizing that that relationship that we have with money is an important part of our whole psychological makeup, and it really extends across many, many aspects of our lives. When I discovered financial therapy, which was about 3 years ago when I read an article in the business section of the New York Times, I was stunned. I was just stunned. Uh, in part because I knew that the mental health community has recognized for decades that issues around money are an important factor in our mental health. But with all due respect to my colleagues, um, I think there's always been this. Uh, it's almost a fear of formally addressing this within the mental health profession, and I think that comes in part from our culture. We look at money as something that, on the one hand, is very private. You never want to ask somebody how much money they make or how much money they spent on their house or their car or whatever. That in many circles is considered to be very rude. But in another sense, it's something that we treat as very public, that we are often feel the need to take our money and spend it in ways that other people can see that we have money. So it is a very interesting relationship that we have with our money, and until recently, I think it's really been at best uh, ignored, at worst walled off from the whole therapeutic process. I want you to think about something. That is, You have probably heard, uh, since you were a kid, this statement, well, money can't buy happiness. And that is largely true. There's been some research on that. Well, that's a topic for another day. But we hear this, when we talk about money, I need to go earn more money. Oh, no, money can't buy happiness. But that, I think, goes back to the kind of the walling off of the idea that, no, it can't buy happiness, but your relationship with money is very intrinsic to your happiness. And so taking a direct approach to the issue of you and your money from a relationship standpoint, not how much money you're necessarily earning or how much money you have, but from a relationship standpoint, then it becomes something that's very powerful. So, what happens in financial therapy? Well, as with other therapeutic approaches, it can go in a lot of different directions. I have had people say to me, well, is it okay to talk about this? I had an issue with my parents. Is it okay to talk about this in financial therapy? And the way that I explain that is to think of financial therapy as an overlay, kind of an overlay to more of the broader traditional mental health practices. In that way, then we look at, yes, your history, your history with your family of origin. How was money treated? What are your first memories about money? How did you grow up with money? Uh, One of the, I think, guiding principles of financial therapy is that we understand that there is a very deep connections that we carry around with us about money. It's amazing the number of people that you see that have what I would call a scarcity mentality that's really carried over from the Depression, carried over from grandparents or maybe even great grandparents. The other thing to understand about financial therapy is from the practitioner side, you've got a wide range of people that are, I think, now more and more working in financial therapy. I salute my colleagues on the financial planning side, as financial planning, I think, has been much more uh, willing and, in fact, requires now to become a certified financial planner. You have to have a course in the psychology of money. And out of the whole financial planning community, you've seen training in financial therapy. That's where this is really growing. I think you can look at the University of Georgia, University of Kansas, I think the University of Kentucky. There are several uh, universities that now offer master's degrees that include financial therapy, and they typically do not come out of mental health programs. So it's unfortunate that the mental health community hasn't yet really uh, embraced financial therapy as a key part of uh, the mental health canon. So I hope you found this discussion useful. There's lots of other material out there. I'm just throwing in my 2 cents here, but I think it is really a very important thing for us at this point to be talking about our relationship with money, and just as important as it is to be talking about our relationship with other parts of our lives, and um, and thinking about the impact and if financial therapy might be something that is helpful for you. Thanks again for listening to this, and please feel free to reach out to me if you want to schedule a no-cost introductory session. Thanks, and have a great day.